Hello, welcome back to the Spirit of Watercolor. And it's springtime and I'm getting ready to do a video demonstrating some simple flower shapes and getting practiced up on, moving into spring, floral themes, which is always a wonderful thing to learn from. So I'll let you know when that one's coming, and again, those simple shapes are so helpful to us to learn how to work the transparencies of watercolor and so on. But right now I just wanted to talk just for a moment to you about a way that I stay inspired, because I, like every artist, including every artist that I've ever met, says that they get an artist block from time to time. And after working hard and creating a lot, all of a sudden you're like, whew, I went through a week of, I don't know what to paint or what to make a demonstration video about. So what I do, and I mentioned this in prior videos, is I get inspired by books, by artist dates, which if you know Julia Cameron's The Artist Way book, she talks about that, and I realized that I haven't been taking those artist dates, so I want to go and get a walk in, either at, in nature, maybe an art supply store, maybe through books and magazines, okay? So the thing I wanted to mention today that I always find so helpful to me, and I highly recommend, is to get some magazines that inspire you. I used to get dance magazines because I was all involved in dance in my younger years, and they inspired me to dance more and to see how other people danced and other styles and just trying different things and keeping going. And I've been subscribing for many, many years to Birds and Blooms magazine, which of course is nature in photography, and then there's this one that I really love, and I wanted to talk a little about this today and recommend that you subscribe to this. You don't have to, but I love Watercolor Artist magazine, and these are some recent copies. I think it used to be called, I know it used to be called Watercolor Magic. And it's a wonderful, and I'll tell you why. Okay, I love this because when I don't know what to paint, there's so many different articles in here from different artists who all have different styles, of which you can look at and you can go, oh, I love that, or oh, that's not what I would want to paint, because it's just not what I am drawn to or what my passion in the world is. But landscape, of course, is one subject of which I've done plenty of since COVID, and I'm kind of looking for new subjects, and I've been moving back into my dancer works, paintings. And also, there's subjects like animals, and there's just so many things. So that's one thing about this magazine that I just love. And then they come I think every other month now. I don't know if they ever came every month, but there's so much in here. I don't think you could read, all of this in a month unless you're an avid reader and you're not painting as much as maybe I am or something like that, or I'm working, which I am. And so, I find this so helpful. Then they sometimes have shows or exhibits in here. Then they have artists talking about techniques that they use. So there's so many ways that this is inspiring, okay? And even if, I need a break from painting, I love going in here, and that's a good time for me to kind of absorb some different ways of approaching a landscape or different ways of approaching a human form, just to kind of think, ooh, I could try that. That's different, And, but I always recommend that we go to our own, photos. I guess that's just me. I don't really want to copy a particular artist's work per se, or verbatim. And if you do that, that's fine. Just don't sign it. My professor used to always say, don't sign it. And if you do it from photography, but then use this as your guide or your, reference on how to, then you can, from your own photographing, you can, sign your own work because you've composed it yourself with the photography. Okay, so I just wanted to talk about that real quickly and just say, find some magazines that inspire you. It could be about anything you're interested in. Okay, architecture. There's architecture magazines. There's if I mean, just it's endless, right? The subject matter. You know, if you're into things around the home, looking out windows, I mean, you know, from a House and Garden magazine or something, you know, there's just, or food. Okay, there's food magazines. If you really love, some people do food really well. I have done a little of that, but not a lot. I'm just not drawn to it. And you might be so drawn to it, okay? Holidays. Yeah, it's endless. So I just wanted to recommend this to you to, you know, even though the world is so digital now, and maybe you can get these on digital and you can go from your tablet, because I mean, I do that obviously in my last video. I drew from a photo on my tablet that I took. And so that's totally valid too. But I just, somehow the hands-on paper magazines, they just still, you know, I can take it with me upstairs and downstairs and draw from it, and, you know, and, you know, it's just, I don't know, there's something about having the other artists in the world at hand, whether, again, like whether it be on computer or in a magazine. So that's my recommendation for today. I hope that that's helpful, and I hope that, you know, some of these thoughts can keep us going. And don't worry about the blocks, because they come. Give yourself some airtime. I struggle with that. I was struggling with this last week, but you know, the holidays coming up, Easter's coming, and I was really focused on this, and I still am. So I took kind of a long break, over a week anyway, and I needed it. And you know, enjoy some other people's work, and think about what I want to do next, and let it come naturally. Don't try to force. And that's something that, again, I struggle with, but I'm telling myself as well as you. So I hope this is helpful. Let me know. And my next video is coming up in just, you know, this week, is, you know, taking a photograph of flowers. And then we'll go from that to, you know, a little bit of how-to in this wonderful book that I have. And Watercolor Painter's A to Z book. It's Fletcher, Adeline Fletcher, and it's just a beautiful book. And it, you know, again, it may not be the book you choose. You can choose your own books. Like I say, go to the bookstore and see what you know inspires you. And you know, I do feel, and this is, I really believe that, you know, when we try to be, when we are venturing into our creative lives, these things show up, and you go, oh, and all of a sudden too, in my personal experience, it's been like, you know, if I don't have I'm budgeting tight that month, there's something affordable that comes up, and you go, oh, okay, that's not going to break the bank. I can do that, you know. One time it was, I didn't have a lot of money, so I bought this brush, but it makes some nice flowers. So stay tuned for that video, and we'll paint some flowers together, and I'll see you there. And if you like these videos, please hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the spirit.